filming.
For 10 years now and counting, she has written a controversial column, Sex Talk, in the Observer newspaper. Caroline Nakazibwe's name rings in many readers' minds, but her face has remained behind her computer for all these years.
I can go to places and people are talking about Caroline Nakazibwe and they don't know I'm there. But yeah, well, I guess I've just learned that.
While growing up, journalism never crossed Caroline's mind as a career choice. She looked forward to being a German language teacher.
The class was so big. I think we're like 300 in there, and I felt this is not for me.
But she later switched courses from BA Arts to Mass Communication.
The first piece I wrote, I felt, yes, like it came so naturally.
Her first story, published in the Monitor then, was titled Mr. Handsome or Mr. Has Some. She tackled a girl's dilemma on whether to date a handsome man or a wealthy one. She treasures the article and keeps a photocopy to date. Caroline started out as an intern at the Monitor, now Daily Monitor, in 1997. She became a staff writer in 1999, but in 2004, aged 29, she left the Monitor with a few colleagues led by one of the Monitor's founders, again Kevin Aliro. They founded the weekly Observer newspaper, now The Observer.
People ask me, would you do it all over again? And I said no. It was tough. We were committed to quality, we were committed to professionalism. We went for years paying all our staff, and we, the directors, went without.
She is the only female of the remaining 4 active directors at The Observer. She first wrote the Sex Talk column in the Monitor in 2001, but went with it to the Weekly Observer.
We realized many people didn't know things like safe days. So before we knew it, we were talking about sex.
On how she keeps a straight face yet write about what is seen as a taboo subject, Caroline says sex is a normal part of life that has been misunderstood.
We've abused it so much, the way we do it and the way we think about it and the way we use it, that it's become something dirty in so many people's minds. But I look at it strictly in terms of marriage.
She looks at her writing as part of ministry.
There are so many women who are most disadvantaged in their marriages and who are struggling with sex in particular, and they don't talk about these things because that's how we were raised.
Caroline tries to make sure her pieces don't reflect her opinion, but from extensive research from books and online. She does not speak at public fora or even attend bridal showers for people who would assume that she is an expert. She insists she is only a journalist. Considering her very public work, her daughter has had to learn early about sex.
I prefer that she learns from me than picking it up on Facebook or from her friends. I don't want anybody putting weird ideas about sex in her head.
Caroline is a single mother, but looks forward to tying the knot one day.
It's one of those things when you're a working woman and you reach the age of 30 and you've not done it yet. I think you take the risk of it becoming harder and harder as you become more independent.
Unlike most females, she freely mentions her age. At 39, she spends her free time in church, the gym, and having coffee with her friends. Her love for God, which she admits shocks many, brings her a lot of peace. 15 years ago, Caroline was a totally different person. In her own words, she was a bit crazy, not God-fearing and business-minded. But the birth of her daughter changed it all.
I think I'm more focused. I want particular things and I'm not afraid to offend a few people by walking the path I want to walk.
She is the Observer's Society Editor and Administrative Director. She didn't get here by letting people trample over her.
Women, by nature, we are people pleasers, which works against us. It's okay to be selfish once in a while.
Her dreams are tied to The Observer. She hopes in future it will be a bigger and better daily newspaper. She grew up looking up to her mother and recently deceased US poet and civil rights activist Maya Angelou.
My mother has inspired me a lot. She was a single mom. My dad died when we were really young, when I was 2. So watching her put us through school, good schools at that, she never compromised when it came to us, and she wasn't a rich woman.
Her worst day yet has been the day The Observer founding MD Kevin Aliro died. She remembers the day as if it was yesterday. She got the sad news while in Maputo.
The email came from Semuju, Ibrahim, and the subject said Kevin is dead. The pain is still raw. And of course, just last year again, we lost Sarah Namlondo.
Her life quote is from Socrates, a philosopher. It goes thus: by all means marry. If you get a good wife, you'll become happy. If you get a bad one, you'll become a philosopher.
If a woman got a bad man, she is also likely to become a philosopher. So I think it works both ways. I love it.
She urges women to learn to look out for each other instead of working to pull each other down. Josephine Karunji, NTV.